So, yeah, so the first marriage ended in a divorce. That was basically like 1999, the year 2000. And lo and behold, months later, a friend of mine named Jeff had a picture on his counter. He lived in Chicago. I was living in Cincinnati at the time. I went and visited him, and I saw a little picture, and I said, "Hey, who's that?" He said, "Her name is Tasia. You ought to meet her, Gris. You ought to meet her." Now, my last name is Grissom, so my boys call me Gris, right? Like all of us got two little personalities. There's Daniel, and then there's Gris. Gris will mess some stuff up, okay? Watch out for Gris. So anyway, so Jeff says, "I want to introduce you." And I called Tasia, and Tasia wasn't there. She was actually out of town. I talked to her mom, and I found out years later that there was a backstory, that Tasia's heart was set on someone else. And she was in Jamaica or some fabulous island. And guess what, y'all? She actually bumped into the dude at the resort. He was getting married to somebody else. At this time, Tasia calls her mom. I call her Mama B, last name Battle. This is now my mother-in-law. And Mama B says to Tasia, "Get on your knees, pray." And they pray for healing, and they pray for the right guy to come. Now, Mama B and Tasia tell the story, y'all, that the phone rang at about this time. Actually, they say it rang when Mama B hung up with Tasia. My phone call came in. I still say to them this day, now y'all geeking it up. It didn't actually happen to that, but they will swear on a stack of Bibles it did. So I didn't actually get to meet this lady named Tasia for a few more weeks. And when we did, we hit it off. You know, recently somebody asked me, a young brother asked me, a young man, he said, "Sir, you know, Mr. Grissom," you know, I'm like, "Where's my father? Is my father around here?" He said, "Mr. Grissom, how do you know when it's time to get married?" And I said, "You know what, young bro? I think I know the answer to that question. It's time to get married when your girl is your boy. When your girl is your boy, when your girl is your dude, when your girl is your best friend is what I mean by that. Like ladies might reverse it, right? When your man is your girl, right? GURL. When that happens, well, I learned that marriage is really about best friendship. And when you find your best friend, that's really when you know, hey, I'm ready to go steady and get married. And Tasia was that for me. And in fact, Tasia, if you get her on camera, will tell you that she saved my life in a couple of different ways. And you know what? She actually did. Because when we started dating, I still had some of the JW, Jehovah's Witness, kind of in my system. I mean, remember, hey, I love those folks, and 88% of what they taught me I thought was accurate, but there was another 12% I wasn't so sure about, so I never got baptized, never became one. And so I pulled out a book on Tasia, or with Tasia. We were in Vancouver. It was called the Family and Happiness book. Come on, y'all. The Family and Happiness book, what could be wrong with that? And Tasia asked me some questions about where the book came from. And she was like, "Sweetheart, I'm sorry, but not going to study from that book." She was more grounded than I was spiritually. And you know what? She helped me heal from the transition from the Jehovah's Witnesses to what I feel is the full truth, spiritual truth about God's word, which I believe is found in the Bible. And so Tasia and I got married after 2 years of dating. And I proposed to my wife at a Tony Robbins seminar. No joke. It was called Date with Destiny. Now, in the room, there must have been 500, 750 people. And so I pre-planned it with Tony's staff and ultimately talked to Tony, and I got up on stage. Tasia didn't know what was coming. I had him play some music. It was one of John Lennon's songs. I can't remember the name of the song at the moment, but I'm going to come back to y'all with that. And Tasia just boo-hooed and cried, and I went on over, gave her the ring. And then a few months later, at another Tony Robbins event, we got married in Las Vegas. So Date with Destiny was the event that I proposed to in February of 2002. And then we got married in May of 2002 at something he called Health Mastery, Well, he ended up canceling that, but we had already made plans to be in Las Vegas, so we did Las Vegas anyway. But the point is, my wife, Tasia Battle Grissom, has been my best friend and has saved my life and has been a difference maker. So this is Daniel. I just wanted to share that part of my story.